bottom line is this was, for me, a pasta and meatballs. Steelers find a way to win. I don't care that the Ravens are favored by 4.5. This is one going into the bye week with everything that's happening. This is find a way. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be unlikely, and it's going to happen. So the Ravens are up 7-0, and God, I wish they were recording.
I know. 7-0.
And driving.
And I'm going, this is about to be a beatdown. So I started imitating you. I don't know. It's the Steelers, and, I've seen this story before. I grew up around Pittsburgh, so I started imitating Mike.
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin, you back him in a corner. He'll find a way. So I was bringing out all of Florio's lines he uses with the Steelers and kind of had the viewing room laughing and chuckling. And I don't know. I was like, I cursed myself. From that point on, it seemed like the Ravens started to F up and mess up all the time and kept letting the Steelers hang around. And all of a sudden, I look over at Mike, and it's like, it's 10-5 in the fourth quarter, and he looks at me and he goes, I've seen this movie before. And I was like, oh, my gosh, I think I have too. Here we go.
But that's the thing. You can't, because there is something very real. And this is one of the reasons why analytics has a place and a time in football. It's a very emotional, it's a very psychological, it's a very momentum-driven sport where when you're in the stadium, and I was there 3 weeks ago, when they play Renegade, something happens. When you let them hang around on a day when you should be up by 30, as the Ravens should have been, something happens. I don't know if it blows in from the Three Rivers or it's just hovering over there. It's the ghost of Art Rooney. I don't know. But it happens. It's intangible, but it's tangible. And when you're there, you feel it. You experience it. When you're watching it on TV, you can feel it coming from your screen.
You can.
And we just knew which way it was going. And even after Gunnar Olszewski fumbles the punt and the Ravens have it on the doorstep, what happens? Not a pick six, but an interception in the end zone that was completely avoidable. But that's just, your brain malfunctions when you're trying to beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh in a game when you've let them hang around longer than you should have let them hang around. There it is. There's a throw. A single coverage to a guy who doesn't make those plays anymore. And I'm sorry, all due respect to everything Odell Beckham Jr. has done in his career, he is not at the level where he can go take that ball like he used to.
No, you're right about that. I understand that. Like, I will certainly start there and question and go, wait, we're just going to go biggest play of the game, just throw a one-on-one jump ball to Odell Beckham Jr., right? I mean, we know how talented he was and is, but he's not in any groove to think like, hey, in the big moment of the game,
trying to force it. They're trying to make it. They're trying to make it happen.
Right. Lamar, that was a bad throw. He threw the ball 4 feet inside there, so he didn't even give Odell a chance, really. So that wasn't good. And then just the overall acknowledgement, again, too, of where you are as a football team. It's 10-8. Right? The field goal would have been huge. You're going to make Pittsburgh go down and score a touchdown. I know they did, but it might have been different at 13-8 as compared to only 10-8 where you go, wait, the pressure's not the same. If we get a field goal here, we can go up still too, right? I mean, everything you said about the Steelers is unreal. They are tough. They hang around. You're right. And once they start to smell a little blood in the water, you could feel it permeating through the TV screen. But that will be a game where the Ravens are going to be absolutely sick when they watch that back tomorrow, right? I mean, I'm looking at my notes from the game yesterday. I mean, first drive, they go down, they score the touchdown, right? Or that was the second drive, because the first drive, Zay Flowers dropped a touchdown pass, right? Yeah. Then second drive, they score a touchdown. Third drive, they're moving down the field, and you're going, whoa, they're going to go up and blow them out here, and they drop another touchdown. Mark Andrews drops a pass that he could have caught for a touchdown, and then Rashad Bateman dropped a really easy one that was right in his face, right? So that was when it started to go, wait, are the Ravens really going to do this today and do this kind of thing? Then they're moving the ball later in the half. And there it is. Justice Hill fumbled. It's 10-0. You're going, man, the Ravens are doing whatever they want. They're going up and down the field on Pittsburgh. Then this at the end of the half. Well, wait, stop and rewind so I can relive this moment again, because this is one of the monumental moments of the football game. It's 10-3 right there on the 4th and 2 right after this play. There's 20 seconds left. 4th and 2. This was a disorganized situation. I still don't think we know exactly what happened right here because John Harbaugh looked like he was shocked that they ran a play at all. It seemed like they were going to try to draw him off sides. If they didn't get it, they're going to call timeout and kick a field goal, go up by 10. They come away with nothing at the end of the half. And then this is
and those points are
huge
precious
in this
Pittsburgh.
game.
You go
Right.
up 10, you're closer and closer to break. And there's Aguilar
dropping babies out of the window again. Then here comes Lamar Jackson missing a wide open Zay Flowers.
Yeah. And he kind of misplayed it a little bit, but he still missed him.
Yes, he did.
And then that at the end.
Yes.
One-on-one. You're throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. like it's 2014 in a one-on-one matchup.
Yeah,
now,
right.
Now the other side of it too
Yeah.
is there is a guy who, when you go one-on-one, and they're starting to figure
no
it
doubt,
out.
no
And,
doubt.
When I got him on the phone last night, and I'm not going to write it up this way, because I was laying it on thick with George Pickens because I finally had a chance to talk to him.
Yeah.
And I was like fanboy. Like, George, I don't know why they don't throw
Why
you the
don't they
ball
throw
every
you all
single
the time?
play.
You're so great,
And he's
George.
laughing. He's like, oh.
I agree.
And it's like, George, how do you stay calm when they're not throwing you the ball all the time? But that play, right, it's 2nd and 9, minute and change left. And he said he comes out of the huddle. He sees cover 0, no safety help. And he could tell by the way Marlon Humphrey lined up, looking in his eyes, it's a single. This is me and him. And Humphrey starts to give him a little cushion right before the play. Not much, but he said he opened the gate for me and I ran right through it. And that's what this guy can do.
Yeah.
Single coverage equals he's not covered. If he's got one guy on him, he's either going to get open during the course of the play or he's going to catch it if you throw it his way. That's what they need to figure out. And one thing he said is he's noticed he's getting more and more of a cushion generally.
Right.
At some point, and I said, look, I don't compare Randy Moss to you lightly, but I remember there was a time in Randy Moss's career, if they were giving him a 9-yard cushion, Dante Culpepper would check to a quick pass
and throw it to him and
let
say,
him
let's
go.
see if you can make him miss, and we'll go from
As
there.
we saw George Pickens do with the long catch and run against the Browns.
Right.
So they've got 2 weeks now to go into the lab. They're in their bye. This is the perfect way for them to go into their bye.
Yeah.
They can try to refocus because it's still ugly. The fire Canada chants were loud. The offense was not good. They still found a way to win. They made a play when they needed to make a play. They had more points at the end of the day. I'm surprised they won by 7. We thought it was going to be 11, 10, 12, 10, 13, 12, something like that. Here's Kenny Pickett on what the biggest challenge in Pittsburgh has been, blocking out all the negativity because it has reached fever pitch.
Has it there?
Especially,
Even
yes.
there? It has?
And it's
Right.
spreading to Tomlin.
Right.
Because I do 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh every Wednesday, and they pivoted from get rid of Canada to get rid of Tomlin last week.
Right.
Here's Kenny Pickett on shutting out that negativity in Pittsburgh.
I think we stayed together, and I was preaching that all week. You get to this level, there's so many outside factors that try to get into a team and try to pull a team apart, whether it's media-related, fan-related, whatever it may be. You have to stay together in football. It's the ultimate team game. Offense, defense, special teams, 11 guys on the field working together, pushing each other, and playing their hearts out to go win the game, and that's what we did. So incredibly proud of our team here.
There's a theory, and it's factual that the theory exists, or maybe it's a hypothesis. I never know quite when a hypothesis becomes an actual theory.
Yeah.
I think a hypothesis
Isn't
is
the
just
same-
No, a theory is you have something that you can use to back it up. You have
Oh,
something
yeah.
quantifiable.
Right.
Your theory has gone from being tinfoil hat idea to actually being something. But the
Right.
term conspiracy theory, maybe it should be conspiracy hypothesis. Maybe that should be the phrase. Anyway, there's a belief that, and I don't know this to be true, but if it's true, if it's even remotely true, it's fascinating. There's a belief that when Matt Canada was there in Ben Roethlisberger's last year, there was acrimony between the two of them.
Right.
And that Big Ben is the one that's peppering quietly.
Oh, behind the
media,
scenes.
Canada.
Hear ya.
Canada. Now, you don't need a whole lot of peppering.
No.
Because it has been bad. But when you throw on top of it, if he's got friends in the media who have platforms,
Definitely.
and it's dump on Canada, it kind of takes on a life of its own.
Yeah.
Because really, at the end of the day, Mike Tomlin's the coach of the team. And Mike Tomlin's responsible for what does and doesn't happen. And that's why I've noticed it has pivoted more toward, hey, if they're not going to do anything about Canada, then we're going to start complaining about the guy who's in charge of the whole show. But they got that win, and it changes everything going into the bye week. Now the challenge is, Use what's happened the first 5 weeks. Play to your strengths. Get the ball to 14 on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And if they're going to give him a 10-yard cushion, check to a quick pass and let him go do his thing. But let's see some jet sweeps. Let's see some bubble screens. Get the ball in this guy's hands.
Well, I subscribe to the be great at something on the offensive side of the ball and then work from there. And to me, that is the number one thing you look at. Like get the ball into Pickens' hands at all costs, and then start to make teams adjust to, wait, we have to double Pickens or we have to do this, and then
everything
it can
else
open
opens
everything
up.
else. Right.
Yes.
You got to have something great or elite about your offense that scares a football team, right? And there's got to be something there that, wait, we're really good at this or we're really good at feeding this guy, and you have to now change the way you play a little bit, and that helps us game plan and open up other things in our offense. And they don't have that yet, but he is the guy that can do that, and hopefully yesterday was the jump-off point for that to continue to happen. Because, as we know, if they can score a little bit, right, and stay close in football games, just like we see yesterday, their special teams, their defense are capable of making big plays at big moments. I mean, of course, get a block punt and get a safety there. And then, Alex Highsmith around the edge, strip sack, TJ Watt gets it. I mean, it's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Their last 2 home games, they were severely outplayed, and they won both of them against AFC North opponents.
Favorite stat of the year, up or down 22-19 in the fourth quarter, had -7 yards and won the game against the Browns. And it had that same vibe yesterday.
It did.
Exact same vibe. There's just, look, and you look at the standings. Steelers 3-2, Ravens 3-2, Browns 2-2, Bengals 2-3.
That was a huge win yesterday. That changed things in the AFC North, right? I mean, if Baltimore wins that game, you're going, they're clearly in control of the division. They have beaten the Browns, the Steelers, and the Bengals head-to-head. They're 2 games up on everybody in the division. And now here we are. It's all jumbled up, and we're going to see where it goes. And, again, that's where Baltimore is going to be sick, certainly. But that is something of a culture, let's build on it type win by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you and your freaking pasta and meatballs can kiss my butt.
They've got – and that's, unlike you, I generally keep my mouth shut until it's sealed.
Right.
But once it was over, I called out to the room, hey, can I order in pasta and meatballs for dinner?
Please? Right. Yeah, thank you.
After the bye week, they've got the Rams, Jaguars, Titans, Packers. I mean, these are all games the Steelers can hang around and maybe pull them off. They still have the Bengals twice, and they finish Week 18 at the Baltimore Ravens, possibly for the division. We'll see how it plays out. But the Steelers, look, it's perfect it worked out that we had those 2 games in the opening segment, because what the 49ers did to the Cowboys is what you have to do to the Steelers. Because that's what the 49ers
That's
did
what
to
they
the
did
Steelers.
in Week 1.
Yeah.
Right.
That
you're not hanging around.
You're not going to give them a chance.
You're not going to get a strip sack to even the game out or go ahead
Renegade
here.
isn't playing that day.
Right.
When it's 30-6,
Right.
you can save Renegade for next week.
Yes. I hear you there. I think that's a valid point. And they are the ultimate hang around, and once the game gets like that, they're like sharks in bloody water, and they start to just swim around and hover, and the physicality and the pressure of the moment, the Steelers seem to thrive in those kind of moments.
I think that's a good G-rated version for one of my favorite sayings. Hang around and find out.
Hang around and find out.
Yeah, that's the Steelers. That's the T-shirt slogan for this year. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.